everyone. I'm Julia and this is Julia at Home, and today I have something a little different to share with you. So it's New Year's Eve and I've been spending some time planning, and I just want to share some of what I've done with you. So today I'm actually going to start with my Erin Condren Life Planner and show you what I'm doing in the notes pages because I spent some time going through and setting those up. And I love seeing what other people do in their planners. And so I thought I'd give it a try sharing with you guys what I have. So here we go. This, just for those of you who are wondering, this is the 2018 yearly, and I get it in vertical. And so I'll just do a quick, let me jump in here, show you. That's the kind I get. But today, it's not so much about this part as the notes pages in the back, so I'm going to flip on over. Okay, so these are my first pages in my notes section. I start with important info. You can see on the left, I did put a piece of paper there so you don't see the exact info, but it just has important information: the names, the phone numbers, the addresses for things like doctors and dentists, and I also have where we get our cars, our car maintenance done, so that it's really easy if I need to make an appointment or follow up with someone to just find the information in here. On the right is my routines and goals page. This page was actually inspired by the work I was doing in my 2018 Power Sheets. I will link to those below, and I am planning on doing some videos, or at least one video, on my Power Sheets this year and how I'm incorporating those goals and my Power Sheets into my Erin Condren Life Planner. So keep your eye out for that. And maybe once that's done, I'll come back and link that as well. But basically, I have a bunch of goals, and in order to get them done, I need to have a plan. And so this helps me. So at the top here, you'll see these two little pretty stickers. These stickers are from the Erin Condren Snap-In sheet. I think it's just called Floral. I'm not sure. I have a couple of their Snap-In stickers, and you'll see them throughout the notes pages. I'll try to point them out to you. These are from Sticker Station, actually. I get their little, well, in 2017, I got their subscription, and I love them. And they come with little notepads, and they're just gorgeous. This is, I forget what month this was, actually, but they're all amazing. And because we're on a budget, I'm not doing the subscription this year, and I do still have some left over that I'm using, but it is definitely something I recommend, and I'm going to get back to in the future. These are also from Sticker Station, and these are actually from the Cultivate What Matters Power Sheets goal planning stickers. So they have a little sticker book. So that's what those are all from. Okay, moving on. Oh, I forgot to tell you more specifics about these. So these are just lists of things that I want to do daily, weekly, and monthly, so that when I am in my planner, and let's say I'm planning out my month, I will start and I will put these in for the month, try to fit them in. Some of them aren't so much scheduling things, like the reading 2 books and the craft projects. They have to go, fit into the, I'm not going to sit a whole day and read a book, although I do have a day set aside for rest, which I could do these things. But you get the idea. I have them there because they are monthly goals of mine. And then weekly, so when I'm looking at the monthly page, I'll probably try to put in some of these weekly things during the weeks. For example, budget dates we do on Friday evenings, so I'll put that right in the monthly. And then also when we go to the weekly spreads, I'll make sure that each of these is in each weekly spread. Then daily are things that I want to do every day. So these are things that really need to get worked into routines, like the ones up here, if it's just for me, or our daily rhythm or routine with the kids. So I make sure to schedule in outside time in particular. And then things like take my vitamins and water and teeth. I just like to have that reminder and check off, because it means I'm doing something good for myself and I deserve to check it off. So now I'm going to move on. I don't know if you're like me, but I have a tendency to get little pieces of paper with things written on them everywhere, which is why I got the Life Planner and why I have more notebooks and things around to help me corral those things. Well, things I want and gift ideas were one of those things that even through last year were just on pieces of paper all over the place. And then I lose a piece of paper and now I can't get to the holidays and then I can't remember what it is that my daughter wanted, even though she told me. So So this is my new system and I'm excited about it. I didn't come up with this. I found the inspiration somewhere on Pinterest, and I think it's an awesome idea. So we have on the left side my wish list, and I divided it into 3 sections: personal, home and garden, and school. And that school would be things for our homeschool. And that way, when I see something I want, this also helps with the budget. I don't just run out and buy it. I write it down and I write down the price. And then when we have some money, or I can look back even the beginning of each month and be like, okay, are any of these actually needs? And if they are, they can go on my list for the month in my budget notebook, which will be a separate video. And if not, they kind of just stay there until I can either save up money or decide I don't need them, and then I can cross them off. And the great thing is, these are stickers. These are also from the Erin Condren Snap-In sticker dashboard. I don't know if I have any. Oh, I do. Let me quickly show you. These are the stickers that you can see I've used a lot of these already. These are the watercolor, and I think these are floral. And you see them all over the place. So that's what I'm referring to. And they just, you know, they come up like this. They're like sticky notes, right? That you get everywhere. But they fit really nicely in here, and they're pretty. And I just put a little bit of washi tape. On the back here to help it stay down better. But because it's a sticker and I'm not writing directly in here, when I either get or cross everything else off on here, I can pull it up and get rid of it. And obviously there's room for more. I just started with one in each section. And same idea over here. These are gift ideas. So I have a column for my daughter, a column for my son, and a column for others, because obviously the kids, there's more ideas of gifts for the kids than other people generally. Moving on, so getting my fitness and, I mean, let's be honest, my weight and how I look, but not just how I look, but also for health reasons, is another goal of mine this year. And it was a goal last year that I was not super successful on, but it was a rough year, and I'm trying to give myself grace. But I actually did a spread just like this for last year that I won't show you because you've noticed I haven't filled in a lot of this yet because I didn't want to share exactly where I am, but I did want to share the page because I really like this design, so I just used it again this year. So I got my weight and my body fat percentages for monthly weigh-ins here, and then when I do lose weight, I can color these in. And please ignore my goal. I would actually be happy getting through half of this goal, but I wanted to have more pebbles in the jar. And my ultimate goal is actually a little higher than that. So, but don't think about this. Actually, little pep talk for myself here as well. This is actually the more important page. These are my measurements. So I haven't done the numbers up the side yet because I didn't really feel comfortable sharing that right now, how I do that. And I actually don't start at 0. I kind of do like a break thing, and then I start so that depending on where these are, and I'll use the same numbers I had for last year to start with. But what I do is I do it by color so that I don't have to write it in. It doesn't get messy, and it's just like dots for each month, and then I connect them, and it makes a really cool, pretty graph, and I like that. But the reason this is the more important side is because my measurements are really going to tell me where my health and fitness is, more so even than my weight. You know, they say you want your waist to be below a certain amount for heart health and all that. And so these will really show my progress better than my weight will. So this is the more important side of the page. Now here is something new for me, and these are also related to my goals, and specifically goals that I picked out when I was doing my power sheets. So on the left is a 365-mile challenge. So the idea is basically to walk or hike a mile a day. And I want to try to do this with the kids. They come, occasionally I'll do a walk without them, but almost always they're with me. For longer ones, I do either have the stroller if we're on a path, or I'll bring, my toddler carrier with me. So they're not necessarily going to walk all of these miles, but they'll probably walk a good portion of them, to be honest. And yeah, it's pretty straightforward. I like this challenge because for right now it's in the teens outside as far as temperature, and I'm probably not going to walk a mile today. I'm hoping we get outside for a couple minutes, but I don't like being cold. So and it might be that I need to get better warm clothes, but we'll look into that. Anyway, I am much more likely to walk more during the nicer weather, during the spring and summer and the fall, and especially during the spring and the fall when it is lovely out. I almost always go more than a mile, so this gives me the flexibility that if I miss a day, or I don't go a mile, I can do 2 miles or 3 miles or 5 miles a day and make up for it. So the goal is just to get to 365 miles in a year. I'm feeling like we can do it. I will color in as we go. Each of these little boxes is 2 miles. And then this side is another goal that I've set up for myself, and that's meditating 5 minutes a day. And that's actually a new thing for me. I know it's so good for your health, and it'll help decrease, stress and anxiety and so many things. So it's awesome, and I just need some incentive. Ooh, sorry about that. I bumped my table. I just need some incentive to help me start a meditation practice. So that's what this is, and my goal is to do 5 minutes a day, and every day I do it, I get to color in a little bit of the spiral. I'm still debating. I did the numbers starting from the inside, but I'm actually debating starting from the outside in. We'll have to see how it goes. These pages I anticipate a lot more coloring on. Even just we'll color up here. But I might also do some drawings and stuff on the side, so I might need to update you on these pages. I'm kind of excited about them. Okay, so first, before I explain these pages, the Erin Condren Life Planner this year, instead of having blank pages in the back, they have coloring pages, and they're beautiful coloring pages. It's just that that's not how I want to use my planner. I actually use the pages for other things, and so with these, it's not too much of an issue. I just typed up what I wanted and taped it in here with washi tape, and I think it looks quite nice, with the design behind. But on the next page, it was a bit of an issue, and I will point that out when we get there. But anyway, this is my cleaning page, and I'm not very good at cleaning, so this helps me out a little bit. These are just things I want to make sure get done every month, and so I can color these in for each month. And then if for some reason something doesn't happen one month, I make sure it gets done the next month. So it helps me with that visual this is a visual reminder for me. And by the end of the year, it becomes this rainbow of colors, and it makes me happy. And then just, honestly, these are probably things that need to be done daily, but again, I am not great at cleaning. So I have scheduled in for myself a weekly quick clean to make sure that all this stuff is done thoroughly. Things like dishes get done every day. Honestly, dishes are my husband's job because I really hate doing them, but the table gets cleaned, things get picked up. It's just I just need a reminder to do a more thorough job of it, at least on a weekly basis. So that's what that's there for. The page on the right here is for house projects, and right now that means decluttering. So I actually started this last year. I read The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up this time last year, and made this list based on that. So that's what KonMari discarding is. I broke down the categories she had, and then I broke down the kimono category is really broad, and I broke that down into more categories for myself. And so I'm going to keep going. You can kind of see where I got down to here, except I need to go back and do toiletries. And then I'll probably come back to these again at the end. Well, I'll definitely come back to paper because I made a note that I need to return to paper. And then I'll also probably come back to these so that the beginning of this year, I want to have hit all of these categories, and that's going to take a bit of a push on my part, and I'm trying to schedule it in and get my husband to help out with that. So we'll see how it goes. This was actually, you could, from the check marks, it was in my planner last year, so I just was able to pick it on up and put it on in here. And then if we move on to different, after we're done with discarding, we're actually planning on moving. So one of our goals this year is to buy a house and to move. And so that's why I kind of have more of a push to get all the decluttering done now. And then we can move on, and this page can be used for house projects or packing or, other things later in the year. So I like that I can have that flexibility there, and the cactuses behind are quite nice. So that's fine there. But here's where we have an issue. So these are actually my favorite pages in my planner. They're me pages. They're for me time. When I have me time, reading and doing craft projects are some of my favorite things to do. And I've set myself some goals for this year, and I'm really excited about it. So my one gripe with the planner was that these are coloring pages behind, and when I put my normal paper down, you could see the design behind, and while they're really pretty designs, it was kind of messing with my what I was drawing up here. So I use these notes pages kind of like a bullet journal in the back, and then I love having the monthly and weekly Erin Condren spreads. So I just took some, unfortunately I didn't have plain white paper that was thick enough, but I have this beigey off-white color, and it's fine. I still love the pages. So here, so this is the book side. It's pretty self-explanatory. I have a goal as to how many books I want to get to this year, and I realized this past year that I'm actually reading a lot more nonfiction books than fiction. So this is my nonfiction shelf, and I forget how many I specifically put there, but between the two, fiction and nonfiction, should be 24. Is my goal for the year. And I divide it with more nonfiction than fiction because that's what I've been reading more of recently. And then these are for family read alouds, and our goal is at least 12, one a month. But I don't think I drew 12. I think I got interrupted by a little person and didn't get back to it yet. So I'll have to finish that up. Then on the side here and on the bottom, you'll see just ideas of what I want to read. And these I actually just took. I had this page in my planner last year, and I just took these and put them here. So I'm going to go back through them and kind of rewrite. And I think there's some that I might not be as interested in anymore, and some that I know I want to add. So I'm going to rewrite these. But it's nice to have these here. And much like on the wish list and gift pages, when I've crossed things off, I can just take it out and put a new one back on. And these are also from the watercolor snap-in, stickers, sticky notes from Erin Condren. Now, this side is kind of new for me. Last year, I did have a page with just a list of craft projects, and I did get to a couple big projects. But I have some goals this year I'm really excited about that I've actually already started, to learn to knit hats and learn to crochet, and lots of projects I want to do for our new home when we move. And there's lots of really cool ideas of what you can do. I wanted to do something that was more visual, like the books. And some ideas that I saw that were really cool were, if you're a quilter or you do sewing projects, doing like a quilt pattern. In each quilt block you write what you've done and colored in, or you could do like balls that look like, balls of yarn, or you could do, you could do baskets on the shelf. You could do, I've seen those like honey, the hexagons make kind of a honeycomb shape. Those are really cool looking. I love trees. So even though it's not necessarily connected to crafts in general, I just love trees. And so that's what I went with. I went with a little seedling, and each leaf will be a project. So when I finish, let's say a hat, I would write down hat. I might write down the specific color or something, because I'm hoping to do more than one. And then I'd color it in. And I think there's 10 leaves on here right now, so I'd like to get to at least 10 projects, but more would be better. I am starting in January on Christmas presents for next year. I should say holiday presents, because I have friends and family of different faiths. I am starting in January on holiday presents for the upcoming year. So I'm ready to roll. Got to do better, not get down to the wire this year, right? Other people hope that every year too. I hope so. And again, just like the others, these are the floral and the watercolor snap-in sticky notes from the back. And again, I have some washi tape on the back to help hold them down better. And when I've gone through and crossed things off, I will take those off and put another one on. So those are my notes pages. Some of you might be wondering, who have Erin Condren or know this, that there are monthly note pages at the beginning of each month. And these I'm hoping to use for my connecting with my power sheets. And so once I get that set up for January, I will do another video, I think, about how I'm using my power sheets with my Erin Condren. So these are not set up yet, but you can kind of see what they look like. They're different. This year they have so before it was just the lines, right? And now they have the circles and these. And so I know that's throwing some people off. And I've been trying to find some videos to see what people are doing. But I've got some ideas. And I will show you when I figure it out. So that is my notes section of my life binder. I hope you enjoyed the peek into my notes pages in my Erin Condren Life Planner. I had fun showing them off. I had a lot of fun working on them, really, and I have high hopes for 2018. I hope it was also inspirational and informative for some of you. I love seeing what you're all doing with your notes pages, so if you have any other ideas or maybe you have some of the same pages, let me know below in a comment. And subscribe below if you want to see more. I am planning on doing some more of these planning notebook videos, but I will also get back to doing more homeschool videos as well. So if you are interested in that at all, please subscribe. Okay, see you later.